is another wonderful day and wonderful morning. Good morning to all our viewers. You are welcome to Vox Pop on Flip TV. I am Babalola Timothy. What we have to discuss this morning is about our president, President Muhammadu Buhari. Now we have to ask our viewers, or our reviewers rather, what their views are on the present regime. As a President Buhari regime, has it been fruitful? Has it been encouraging? What do we have to say to the economic stature of our country, Nigeria, at the moment? So we are on Vox Pop on Flip TV to ask people on the streets their views or their opinions about this present administration. Stay tuned. I will be right back. I am Babalola Timothy. We'll be looking into Nigerian economy. Now, should we say Nigerian economy has been fruitful and encouraging during this Buhari regime? What is your view about this?
Well, Buhari dispensation came under the mantra of change. And whatever we are seeing here is change. So irrespective of whether it's a negative change or regressive change or positive change. So, but what we are experiencing as far as Nigeria is concerned is change. And as far as I'm concerned, not the change that Nigerians were clamoring for. Nigerians were expecting change from goods to better, only to have the reverse. So Buhari has brought a state of despondency, a state of regrets. He has brought pain to Nigerians. And he's not changing his position as far as Buhari is concerned. His policies are anti-citizens. He has no plan. People around him, his whatever they call them, economic advisors, social advisors, legal advisors, have failed Nigerians. I wonder what are they advising? Either he refused to accept the advice and choose to go his own way. So it has been a period of trial for every Nigerian as far as I'm concerned. There is no peace anywhere. Within this dispensation, even the military that should keep the borders of Nigeria are falling victims. You see 1,000 being buried, mass burial, Nigerian soldiers, 800 and something, under the disguise of Boko Haram. There is something wrong, fundamentally wrong. Security-wise, Nigeria has failed. The government has failed. Buhari government in particular. Is this education-wise? Is it social-wise? I mean, look at the economy. In history, that a cup of rice, a delicacy of rice could be sold for 500 naira. And even the local one, they called local one, 450, 400. And how many Nigerians could afford that? I mean, people are going through tough times, and I know that tough times does not last, but tough people do. So if we continue in this system, I know you have barely 3 years or more to go, but I know God will send us a help. I believe that something better can take place, irrespective of his government. He has taught us, of course, to be more hardened. So whatever policy is coming, it is inconsequential. We have learned to survive the hard way. I was told about the Civil War, Biafran War. My parents survived then why wouldn't I survive? Even though there is another civil war, we'll have to face it. But one thing I have to remind them is that when you are given opportunity in life, you have to maximize those opportunities. for the betterment of the race and the society you find yourself. Otherwise, you will be failing not only God, you will be failing your generation and yourself as well. So I think Buhari has really disappointed Nigerians. And that will speak beyond his generation. I think his people, his children are there to see what their father, if they have not seen it, it will be written in the print, in the blueprint. How he met Nigeria and how he left Nigeria. I think he's leaving Nigeria more divided. He's leaving Nigeria more panic, in the state of panic, anarchy. There is no rule of law. He truncated the judiciaries. The rule of law, he has no respect for law. The constitution that empowered him to rise as the president of Nigeria, that gave him the opportunity, he has no regard for it. Look at the over 40 law court injunctions has been turned down in a democratic setting. And you tell me that this person, something must be wrong somewhere. How could, in a democratic society, where the rule of law prevails, where everybody is equal before the law, and injunctions has been given and you have no regard for it? I mean, we have descended so low that we become a laughingstock to the community of nations. It's so unfortunate. See, go to our hospitals. Even his wife, Aisha Buhari, said even the Asarok clinic has no pin. It's on record. Buhari, who condemned Yaradua for traveling for his medical trip, when Yaradua was sick, he was part of the people that criticized Yaradua. How should the taxpayers' money be spent on medical trip, foreign medical trip? He's the one now living in London for medical trips, not knowing that he has the responsibility and has been given the mandate to fix Nigerian hospitals. I visit one of the nearest health centers just to run my BP, to know my BP, and I couldn't. They have no hosts. I returned the next day after a week. They have not fixed the problem. Just a host to take your BP. You can see how devastated even our health sectors has been subjected to. So every Nigerian is not happy with this government. And the government is not listening. Yaradua told us that he's a listening president. Of course, we saw him. The only president I respect, past president I respect in Nigeria. Umadu Yaradua was able to reverse the price of fuel from what it was down to about 50% cut. And it worked. So it means that they have the capacity, the ability, as empowered by the Constitution, to better the welfare of Nigerians, to deliver dividends of democracy. But they have resorted not to use it in favor of Nigerians, but against the state that brought them, that gave them such opportunity. What he eats, he does not pay for it. No wonder he could close border. If he wants Uncle Ben's rice, he can get it. If he wants medical trip, foreign trip, he can get it at the expense of Nigerians. If he wants luxury, wares and clothing, he can afford it. These are all being paid by Nigerian money. How will he feel the pains of Nigerians? He don't visit market. He don't know what is happening. He don't know how much is a cup of beans in the market, because it's been paid for. Why won't he abuse it? It's unfortunate.
Looking at the way things are in Nigeria, you will see that since Buhari entered, people have been crying, suffering. The prices of food have been going up. So Buhari's regime is a full failure Failure. Yeah, it's failure. It's pure failure. It's pure failure. Check it. How much was the price of rice when Buhari entered? How much is the price of rice now? How much is transport? How much were the fuel prices when Buhari entered? Look at what is happening everywhere now. Nothing is going on. Okay, look at the worst now is the total closure of border. Nothing is coming in and nothing is going out. So and nobody's an island. So Buhari is a total failure. So I don't know the kind of advisors he had. I don't know people that are advising him. I don't know whether he listened to people's advice or he's using his own idea of. So being a full military man, I don't think Buhari is good for this country. So everything about Buhari is failure, total failure. He has failed.
Buhari regime that is not favoring people, but to me, I would say that it's end time.
End time.
Yes,
Okay.
but woman being cannot satisfy themselves because God don't allow woman being to rule themselves. Because it's called Buhari regime, it favors some people, but majority of people don't favor them. There are some people who meet will say Buhari regime is the best. There are some people who meet will say Buhari regime is not okay for them. If you watch what is happening in the world, and many years ago, mostly let me say in Nigeria, we know that this is Bible prophecy and it must fulfill. If another person is still enter there as a Nigeria president, maybe we still worse. Let's go back about the time of Obasanjo. We complain about time of Obasanjo. Jonathan, we complain about Jonathan. Yaradua, we complain about Yaradua. Buhari now, we are still complaining. That, we know that woman being cannot help us except God. Really, the hardship in Nigeria is very hard, but Buhari, the hand is among because he's supposed to do some certain things that masses will enjoy, but he's not doing those ones. Conclude in end time. So,
Conclude on end time.
yes.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. Wow, we can see people giving their views. Some say it has been disappointing, although nobody or no persons have been in support of the regime. While some are saying it has been a disappointing era, I have one of my speakers says it is a symptoms of end time. It says the scripture must be fulfilled. Wow, this is wonderful. While some are seeing Buhari's regime as a very disappointing and a period of hardship, some other persons are saying it is a period of end time. The person went biblical, that is, the scripture must be fulfilled. Wow, we are still on Vox Pop on Flip TV. Stay tuned. I am Babala Timothy. I will be right back. Buhari regime, has it been encouraging? Has it been fruitful to the masses? Is it helpful or it is very discouraging? It has not been a good one. We would love to have your opinion on this.
Oh, wow. This is a very wonderful, wonderful question. As you can see, I'm in fact, I'm even smiling to be happy of this question. But first, let me let you to know, I'm not the type that rely on government or waiting for them to do or something. But when I see how other people are passing through pains, I consider them to also fuels me. So if I'm to say in this regime that we are, the last people who left, which is the PDP, according to people who always say, yes, there's still money, but they know how to economize the economy. But this one, they're actually virtually recovering the money, but the economy can never be economized. What am I trying to say here? Look at, if I'm to say most of the billions I've been hearing that they have recovered, I can say I don't know what it has been used for or what it has been used, what the money has been planned to be used for. Before I go say, when I listen to all this, I become very more annoyed that why am I in this country? But it's a good news that I'm in this country to experience how it is, and I know I could make myself better because I'm not here to rely on most governments. So I'm to say about this regime, as I'm talking to you, I'm never a rider. I'm not a rider. In fact, I don't even know how to ride. My highest ride was a bicycle. But due to what the country has become, What do you expect me to be? I have to look for something to do and to survive before thinking of succeeding. Because if I could survive, then I will start thinking of how to succeed. So right now, me, as someone who is not a rider, I have to force himself to look for and make sure he learns how to ride and become a rider. And now look at me, who is not a rider because I've been converted to a rider. And not only that, I'm not just trying to do myself to survive, but I'm trying to cave away myself to become successful, because I'm not here to depend on government. Because if I'm depending on government, that means I would rather rely on them, waiting for them to do something which you and I know that years past go, we didn't see any advantage, anything we've actually enjoyed from there. Is it not now that we've already seen the past year, just last year, to see how difficult the life is? Is it now ahead of us that the life become better? No, I can't say. So this is not encouraging to me. Neither have I gained anything from it. Neither will I say people who are even APC are eventually getting themselves discouraged of being an APC member. So just my own opinion or two not to say. Yeah, I don't have much more to.
Buhari regime, we have said a lot about it. So we are tired. We are tired of complaining and complaining. We are tired. His government is not favorable. It's not favorable. They are saying Nigerian rice. Economy is not all about rice. So it's when somebody, so you cannot give what you don't have. When you don't have what it takes to govern and rule your people. So you will just be beating about the bush, beating around the bush. Nigerian rice, closing border for rice. Economy is not about the rice. There are many other things. Buhari had a lot of work to do, but nothing yet is being done. So where will you start? Security-wise, the government of this current administration has failed. Economically wise, they have failed. Educationally wise, they have failed. So, my brother, we are tired. We are tired. We are in short of words for now, because we have keep on talking. And at the end of the day, nothing comes out of it. So, as personally to me, I rate this government below average.
Below average.
So they need to step up. The judiciary, our judicial process are nowhere to be found. To the extent that the government of these days doesn't obey judicial orders. They don't obey judicial orders. The court will give verdict. The executive will use DSS and their power to go and do otherwise. So what are we now saying? Look at the economy. Look at the security. Even the farmers. Nigerians lost the highest number of farmers in this. They lost the lives of the highest number of farmers in number in this kind of current administration. Herdsmen, we are killing people, killing farmers, destroying their properties, their wealth, without anything being said about it. Insecurity here and there. Kidnapping is now a legitimized business, the order of the day. So what are we now saying? So what? We are just hoping on God, for God to intervene. Let God intervene and help us. If not, this government, I rate them below average.
Below average. So thank you very much for having me on this show. Wow, so far so good. We have been able to get diverse persons' opinion. We'll see. The most alarming thing is that this regime of Buhari has not been fruitful and not encouraging at all. Well, this is where we are going to call it a day. This is where we are going to draw down the curtain on Vox Pop. We are going to meet some other times. I remain Babalola Timothy. Stay tuned.